All right. The WNBA Finals are split 1-1 after two games in New York. The series shifts to Minneapolis now. We are in the best two out of three. Will it be the Liberty or the Lynx crowned as champions? We'll talk about what took place up in Brooklyn, New York, and look forward to Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. Shooting lights out, WNBA Finals edition starts now.
Sound like some Viking music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick it again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting lights out.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today on this Monday? Glorious Monday, October 14, 2024. The Playmaker is back. Thank y'all for those who had checked in on me during the last week because I couldn't preview the WNBA Finals like I wanted to because we had Hurricane Milton coming through the state of Florida. My thoughts and prayers are still out. Those in the central Florida area, Orlando, Tampa, Sarasota, Clearwater, just to name a few of the spots that were hit. But up here in the good old Jacksonville, Florida, and Duval, we saw very little damage, which is a blessing, to say the least. But nevertheless, I am here. I am back, ready to rock and roll. We are going into Game 3 of the WNBA Finals, will be take place a little later this week. I will get you to that. But I will talk about what took place up in New York. And if you thought I was going to be happy about what took place in there, I'm not. I'm not going to say and be honest with you right now. I'm not. What took place in Game 1 did not sit well with me. And I don't care. Game 2, what was supposed to happen, but Game 1 is not sitting well with me right now. But we'll get into that, But before I do have to give you your news and notes like I always do when we begin shooting lights out. So let's go around the hardwood. And to begin our Around our Hardwood segment, Danny Green, the three-time NBA champion, is hanging up the sneakers. Calling it quits. This article right here is from CBS Sports Network. I had to go to CBS route on this one. But hey, I will say this is what Danny Green said about him retiring because he said it on his podcast. My body was letting me know I was getting little calf strains here and there. But also when you get older, teams aren't calling as much. Unfortunately, my service weren't as sought after as they were when I was younger. It's been a hell of a ride. But I am officially moving on from the game of basketball, the NBA. It's been a great run. To me, I am very proud to be able to walk away from the game. I am at peace with it. As you know, Danny Green won 3 NBA titles with 3 different teams. He's the 4th player to ever do so. He won it in the 2014 with the San Antonio Spurs, as you see here, as on the picture that you see with Tony Parker. That was in 2014 with the San Antonio Spurs. 2019, he won it with the Toronto Raptors. That was with fellow Spurs teammate and then Raptors teammate Kawhi Leonard. And then 2020, down in the bubble, he was a member of the Los Angeles Lakers that went down to Orlando to win the bubble championship. So, yes, Danny Green, hell of a career, man. You had a hell of a ride. You've done very good with your NBA career. You had a great basketball career, too. Because I followed you in college basketball. You was at the University of North Carolina, winning the title with North Carolina as well. So, proud to you, Danny Green. Hell of a career. Can't wait to see what you do next, especially with the podcast that you got listening. So, congratulations, Danny Green. Hell of a career. Now, let's move on to the WNBA because The WNBA draft lottery will be taking place Sunday, November 17th. Today is the 14th, so it'll be a little over a month away from that. And it will feature the LA Sparks, the Washington Mystics, the Dallas Wings, and the Chicago Sky. Out of those 14, we'll see who gets picks 1 through 4. I will get to the Golden State Valkyries a little after this news because I'm going to tie both this one with the Golden State Valkyrie and the other news that they got together. But here's the thing when it comes to the draft lottery, because with the Chicago Sky, they don't control their first round pick. That would be the Dallas Wings. Okay, the Dallas Wings control their pick because that's when the Chicago Sky traded for Maria Marbury, who they then traded to the Connecticut Sun. So if the Sky was to get a higher draft pick than the Wings can flip those picks. So Chicago has no control of what they pick. Matter of fact, they still haven't found a new head coach yet because they fired Teresa Witherspoon after one season. Talking about they needed a coach change. How you gonna need a coach change after 1 year? I'm not gonna get on that soapbox now. I'm gonna save it. But nevertheless, so we're basically looking at the Sparks, the Wings, and the Mystics battling for number 1. And whoever gets number 1, we're gonna call it the Paige Becker sweepstakes. If everything goes well, and we pray everything goes well with Paige Beckers and the UConn Huskies, Paige Beckers will be the number 1 pick in this upcoming WNBA draft. We don't know when that draft is going to be taking place yet, but we do know the lottery for it will be taking place in a little over a month on November 17th. Now, I did say I was going to talk about the Golden State Valkyries. Now, the Valkyries, they are locked in at the 5th pick for each round. So no matter what happens, the Valkyries, they'll be getting the 5th overall pick in the NBA draft. So that's why you didn't hear me bring up the Golden State Valkyries talking about the lottery. They are slotted at the 5th pick, and there's nothing else to it. However, though, they found their first ever head coach. Their first ever head coach would be the Las Vegas Aces assistant coach, Natalie Nakase, who's coming from a franchise that has won 2 WNBA titles before they get eliminated this year by the New York Liberty. She's coming in with a lot of experience. She's coming in from being coached under Becky Hammond. So she's going to bring in whatever Becky Hammond brought to the Aces. She's going to take that with her and take it to Golden State, or in this case, San Francisco to be exact, but to the Golden State Valkyries. So looking forward to it. Golden State, they are starting to build out their coaching style. Now they got their GM. They have the VP. Now they have their head coach. Now it's time to build the coaching staff around the head coach and then get ready to start signing free agent players and then looking to see who you want to draft with the 5th overall pick in the upcoming WNBA draft. So there you go. But we're not done with the WNBA news because more came. And this one is probably the biggest one of them all. There will be a change in the playoff format going into 2025, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see here, WNBA Finals presented by YouTube TV expands to best of 7 format beginning in 2025. What does that mean? That means after this WNBA Finals is concluded, which is a best of 5, which we'll talk about in the next segment. Next year's WNBA Finals will be a best of 7, just like the NBA. The higher seed get the first 2 home games. The lower seed gets the next 2 home games, and then we go home, and go home, and home. So pretty much, let me put it like this for you. If this format was taking place right now, the New York Liberty would have games 1 and 2 as they did. Games 3 and 4 would be played in Minnesota as they are. Game 5 would be in New York. Game 6 would be in Minnesota. And there was a game 7, it will be in New York. Loving that. So we going NBA style. And then they heard the outcries, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to know this because I don't want y'all to just look at the final. There's another change in the format. They heard the outcries from y'all. They heard you loud and clear because also beginning in 2025, the first one will still be a best of 3, but be a 1-1-1 thing now. Coming off of his where all the higher seeds, the New York Liberty, the Connecticut Suns, the Minnesota Lynx, and the Las Vegas Aces all were home teams. They defended home court advantage in games 1 and 2 and thus sweeping the first round. That would be no longer the case. All right. Game 1 would be at the higher seeds location. Game 2 would be at the lower seeds location. And if there's a game 3, it'll be back at the higher seeds location. For example, let's take Connecticut and Indiana. Okay. To all my Clayton and Clark friends out there, I'm doing this especially for you. Okay. Next year, if you was to meet Connecticut again in the same seating, like a 3 versus 6 seating, game 1 would be in Connecticut. Game 2 would be in Minneapolis. And then if there's a game 3, because the Indiana Fever was able to defend home court against the Connecticut Suns in game 2, then you go back to Mohegan Suns in Connecticut for a game deciding game 3. So now going forward, the lower seed team will have a home game in the playoffs in the first round, regardless they win or lose game 1. There's no more worrying about the lower seeds not having a home playoff game despite being the lower seed. The lower seed will have one playoff game automatically going forward. So they heard the outcry. They listened to you, and they changed it up. They changed it up for you. So next year, whoever makes the playoffs next year, every team will have at least one home playoff game. At least one home playoff game, mandatory. All right? Now, that'll be it for the WNBA news. Now, let's get to something that happened over the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Hall of Fame class basketball went into on yesterday. Excuse me. Your headlines were Big Shot Chauncey Billups from the Detroit, lowest known from the Detroit Pistons, and Vincenity himself, Vince Carter. We can talk about Toronto Raptors days. We can talk about the New Jersey Net days. We can talk about the Orlando Magic days. We can talk about the Atlanta Hawks days, the Dallas Maverick days, no matter what. Okay? Those were the headliners. Jerry West went in for a third time, this time as an executive due to his passing. I'm happy he got in. This is the third time being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Unprecedented. That's a record. Does Collins went in. As you can see on your screen, Michael Cooper, Walter Davis, Michelle Times. Let's not forget Simone Augustus. She was a hell of a player when she was playing for the Minnesota Lynx. Oh my gosh. Simone Augustus rightly deserved to get in. Teammates with Maya Moore as well. So I'm looking forward for her. If Simone Augustus get in, I can't wait till Maya Moore gets in, because you got to know she is getting in the Hall of Fame. We talking about one Maya Moore here, okay? Also, so you see 9 people on here. There was a total of 13 that went in the Hall of Fame yesterday. Shout out to everybody going to the Hall of Fame. But the headlines being Chauncey Billups and Vincenity himself, Vince Carter. All right. Now, when I set this up yesterday, that was going to be the final part of the round of hardwood. But some news broke today. And the AP Top 25 poll for men's basketball was released today, just after noon Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to know who your top 25 is, I got that for you. Coming in at number 1, the Kansas Jayhawks from the Big 12. The Alabama Crimson Tide at number 2. And then the back-to-back national champions, the UConn Husky, coming at number 3 on the list. Then you have Houston, Iowa State, Gonzaga, Duke, Baylor, North Carolina, and Arizona rounding out the top 10. Now, some of the notable names you see, Bruce Pearl and Auburn Tigers coming in at 11, Tennessee Volunteers at 12. Texas A&M, a shocking one from the SEC, coming at 13. Creighton Blue Jays out of the Big East is at 15. You also have Indiana, the Hoosiers. They're doing great in football. They're undefeated in football, but they come in at 17. I like that. The Marquette Golden Eagles at 18. What about the Cincinnati Bearcats? They second year inside the Big 12. They come in at 20. The Florida Gators. It's been a trying time in football, but in basketball, they come in at 21, followed by UCLA, and they first year as a Big 10 team. Then the Kentucky Wildcats, despite losing Coach Pride, coming at 23. Ole Miss Rebels and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights running out the top 25. Now, I'm looking at this. I'm seeing Alabama. Okay, I'm seeing Auburn, Tennessee, Texas A&M. Texas in here too, Arkansas, Florida, Connecticut, Ole Miss. That's 9 teams from the SEC in the top 25. I just want y'all to notice that. Alabama, Okay, ranked number 2 in the country. Auburn, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Texas, Florida, Kentucky, and Ole Miss. 9 out of the top 25 come from that Southeastern Conference. Now, the other one probably be the Big 12. You have Kansas coming at number 1, Houston at number 4, Iowa State number 5, Baylor at number 8, and Arizona at number 10. The Big 12 has 5 in the top 10 by itself. And then when you go look around, you throw a Cincinnati in there. So that's 6. Very interesting. What was supposed to be known as the basketball conference of the basketball landscape, the ACC. Well, Duke come in at number 7, North Carolina number 9, your top 2 teams. And you look around, you don't see much else from the ACC. Then the Big 10. What does the Big 10 have? Those of you who are in Big 10 country. Well, your first Big 10 team we don't get to until we get to, let's see, Purdue at 14. Then you have Indiana. Then you have UCLA. Then you have Rutgers. Very interesting how the AP did the top 25. Now, I'm interested in seeing how they looked at these top 25 and how they discovered to make these top 25 because there's a lot of SEC teams in here. There's 9 of them, okay? You don't have a very lot of ACC teams outside of Duke and North Carolina. Big 10, not very much. I don't see no Michigan State in here, no Michigan. I do see Indiana, which is good. I do see Purdue, which is good. The newcomer UCLA's in here, okay. No USC, who is also a newcomer. No Oregon, no Washington. Very interesting. No Wisconsin. I'm looking forward to how the beginning of this season begins, and it don't begin until November, okay. This are damn near a whole month early, okay. So we don't even get to see how this thing's going to go until like the beginning of November for these teams to start playing. So it's very interesting how the AP poll came up with this stuff. So, but that's your top 25 going in the preseason of men's basketball. Now we're going to be waiting till we see the women's side of it and see how they look and coming up. I do believe South Carolina should be number 1 with Don Staley returning again. Maybe UConn somewhere in the top 5, top 3. We'll see about LSU with the change that they got going on. Where will Iowa be at with losing Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin, also having a new head coach now. But yeah, for the men's side, here you go. And let's see what happens with this unprecedented men's basketball season now that conference realignment is how they fair share this go around. And next year we'll have more because the Pac-12 trying to come back, and then Gonzaga next year will be part of the Pac-12. This there, Gonzaga's last year as a West Coast Conference team. There will be a Pac-12 team next year. All right. So that would do it for this edition of Around the Hardwood. All right. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to know there's only one thing else left to do. We are going here. It is the WNBA Finals. We are 2 games in, and one team needs 2 more wins to be crowned champions. Minnesota Lynx, New York Liberty. We'll be back.
I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition, dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason.
In a world where chronicles of the past are brought to the streams, whether the content is relatable or completely beyond your realm of life, there is no shadow of a doubt that this show is absolutely full of shenanigans. Get ready for
D. Willie in the evening,
this Sunday at 10:05 p.m. Eastern,
exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
WWE Shop is your online source for all things WWE. Be a part of the excitement and score wrestling gear for big events like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. From current superstars to legends, from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. Don't miss this chance to shop for the most awesome WWE merch. Shop for the best deals as well as WWE gift cards and save big on your favorite items. WWE Shop at Fanatics Experience.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA Knight. Oh, okay. Then LA Knight hopped out the car. Let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Monday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern, 2:05 p.m. Central. Exclusively on the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers? Left side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shooting Lights Out here on this Monday, October 14th. And yes, as you saw in doing the commercial break, Monarchs are wrestling a little less than 3 hours from now at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Real Play Caller Sports Talk with my co-host, Cool McCain. We'll be talking wrestling, going over AEW Wrestle Dream, going by what we saw on Raw and SmackDown, and whatever else happened within the confines of TNA, Total Nonstop Action Impact Wrestling. So join me later on today. All right. And shout out to my man, Drew Willingham. Your Washington Commanders look very impressive, I must say. Even though they took a loss to the Baltimore Ravens, they look very good. So I'll give a shout out to the Commander fans. Y'all have somebody in Jane Daniels. All right. Now, let's get back to the business at hand. Those of you who are wanting to know where you can listen to Shooting Lights Out at, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to your podcasts is at, or your favorite podcast platform, whatever that case may be. You can find Shooting Lights out there. But on the radio station side, up in Indianapolis, Indiana, 502 American Angel Radio. I'm so happy and proud to be a part of that radio station. And also the Real Wise Radio station up in the northeast part of the United States, the New Jersey from like the New Jerseys up to the New York and beyond. The Real Wise Radio. Shout out to my big brother, Wise A. Hefe. Thank you for putting this show on your radio station, sir. Now, I got those out the way. Let's get into it because there's only one place to go to, and it's the WNBA Finals. All right. For that, I had to change up the background because you have to. Okay. You have to change up the background. It's the WNBA Finals. All right. It is the top two seeds in the WNBA, the number one and top overall seed, the New York Liberty, taking on the number two seed, the Minnesota Lynx. They've been the best two teams from the start to finish. And then we had two games played in Brooklyn, in which I'm not satisfied with, not one bit. Okay, but let's do our due diligence here. Game one, Minnesota 95-93 over New York, and then game two, 80-66 New York, with the series tied 1-1. What took place in Brooklyn in the Barclays Center? Game one, Thursday, October 10th. We had the Minnesota Lynx steal game one. That's right. I said Minnesota stole game one. And if everybody who watched that game, they know they stole game one. And when you say steal game one, I'm not saying they stole game one because the refs helped them out and they got calls they shouldn't have gotten in New York was robbed. No. When I say they stole one, they was down 18 halfway through the second quarter. They was down 18, and then, they fought back and cut the deficit to, let me see, 10 at halftime. And then they started picking up in the second half. They scored 48 points in the second half before overtime to the New York Liberty's 40. Outscored them by 8 to send the game into overtime. And then in overtime, 11-9, they took game one. Not only did they take game one, they took home court advantage as well. The New York Liberty shot 37.8% from the field, 39.4% from three-point range. Minnesota shot over 50% from the field and over 40% from three-point range. Shout out to my brother Cole Johnson. Cole Johnson he know how I feel right now. I am disgusted of what took place on Thursday. I'm gonna get to what took place on Sunday, but it doesn't take away how I feel about Thursday. Disgusted. You know why? Because this is the sixth time, and after I did my research, it's like the sixth time the New York Liberty has been involved in the NBA Finals. And guess what happened all 6 times in the NBA Finals? They lost game one. Now, the first time they made it, they went against the Houston Comets. It was a one-game decider, and Houston Comets won that game. So they won game one and also won a championship because there was only one game to be played. Again, they switched it. They added some games. They lost to the Houston Comets again, 2-0. Happened again a third time to the LA Sparks. I think that's when they started doing the best of 5. They lost 2-1. And they have lost game one every single time they've been in the finals. And guess what? Guess who's the only team from the existence of the WNBA to now has never won the WNBA Finals? The New York Liberty. So yet again, we're behind the 8 ball once again. We lost game one to the Las Vegas Aces last year. Matter of fact, we lost the first 2 to the Las Vegas Aces last year. We ended up winning game 3 at the Barclays Center. And that's when they ended up winning game 4 because they was like, there's no way in the hell we're going to let y'all come back and have us go back home to play a game. We're going to go home and celebrate, which they did. But now we're behind the 8 ball again. What made me even more pissed off, we had Fisher Carr. She going to do her. She second in MVP rating, defensive player of the WNBA, no problem. 21 points, 8 boards, 10-16 from the field. Okay, I got that. Kaylee McBride. Whatever I told y'all when it comes to the Minnesota Lynx, if Kelly McBride is shooting the ball and she is going in, it's going to be tough to beat the Minnesota Lynx. 6 from 11 from the field, 4 from 7 from 3-point range with 22 points. And if that wasn't bad enough, Courtney Williams decided to show up with 23 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. She shot 50% from the field, 9 for 18. They had 3 players go for 20. And we, the New York Liberty, those of you who are new to the program, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Anyway, the New York Liberty, who I'm a fan of, we wasted a double-double performance by JJ, John Jones, who had 24 points and 10 boards. Went 9 for 14 from the field, and we wasted. Stewie had a terrible game. 18 points, 9 boards. Y'all say, well, she had 18 and 9. She went 6 for 21 from the field. 6 for 21. That's not even 1/3, because that would be 7 for 21. Sabrina Nescu, not much better. 19 points, 5 boards. 8 from 26 from the field. But we wasted a great performance from JJ. Gave me 24 and 10. 24 and 10. If you tell me John Jones is going to get you 24 and 10, I'm looking at you like, oh, we got this in the bag. Because I know Stewie going to give me what she did, what she gives me all the time. Sabrina going to give me what she normally gives me. We good. The third wheel of the team, JJ's getting off. Oh, we good. Not the case in game 1. And even Phoenix gave me 17 points. but we wasted the game. We had an 18-point lead and we blew it. Now we back in the 0-1 hole as we always are in the NBA Finals. And let's get to last night or yesterday afternoon, shall we? Game 2. Jumped out a 10-point lead yet again after quarter 1. Kept the 10-point lead going into halftime. Then Minnesota tried to make a comeback. They came all the way back and they made it a 2-point game within the third quarter. But we got our rhythm. We finally got with them late in the third quarter. And what was supposed to have been a 2-point lead turned back into an 8-point lead. And then in the fourth quarter, like Minnesota probably ran out of gas. It was like, yeah, this is not going our way, but we got the split so we can go ahead and get up out of here, which is the reason why we end up winning by 14. Okay, we shot better. We definitely shot better from the field than game 1. 47.5 on the field, 45.8 from three-point range is lovely. Minnesota shot 45 from the field, 30% from three-point range. Okay. We are dominating the boys in games 1 and game 2. We had 44 rebounds in game 1, if I remember correctly. So they're 32. And then yesterday we had 34 rebounds, so they're 27. So we're dominating the boys on them. If we can defend and make our shots when we need to, we can win a WNBA championship for once. He did it in game 2. Now, if Cole Johnson was in the chair, he probably said, you should be happy, playmaker. You got the split. You didn't go down 0-2 going to Minnesota. I don't give a crap. We shouldn't have lost game 1. But I will say that it was nice for Breanna Stewart to rebound and turn back into the MVP that she is. 21 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. And the WNBA Finals record was 7 steals. You want to know why she was known for as a defensive player of the year? You want to know why she has won multiple MVPs? Because when she does performances like that, it's tough to beat her and her team. Now, John Krell, she gave me 14 and 9. Almost another double-double. Sabrina gave me 15. I need a little bit more production. You did give me 5 dimes. But Benaja Naney Hamilton showed up. 20 points. That's what we needed. Nafisha Collier, 16 points, 8 boards. A little more quieter game than game 1. Kayla McBride, 8 points. That's a lot different than dropping 20 with 22 points. That's a minus 14 from game 1 to game 2. All right, how much we won by? We won by 14. Go figure. Courtney Williams only 15. That's minus 8. I'm not going to trip, but Nafisha Carr going to get her. Don't let Kayla McBride get off. Don't let Bridget Carlton get off. Bridget Carlton, she has a total of 13 points in 2 games. We're doing a good job on her. The 3 players for the Minnesota Lynx, well, 2, because Nafisha Carr, she going to do her. She going to find her spot. She going to do what she do. She had a quieter game again yesterday, 16 points. So, but that doesn't happen that often. But outside of LaFisha Carr, the two players from the Minnesota League we cannot get off, Bridget Carlton and Kayla McBride. You see, Kayla McBride went for 22 in game 1. They came back and beat us. She ain't go off in game 2. She only had 8 points. They lost by 14. When they whooped our ass in the regular season, Kayla McBride was kicking our ass, along with LaFisha Carr. I'm telling you what I know. Kayla McBride can be the difference for the Minnesota Lynx. Actually, I can say this going into the playoffs. Kayla McBride can be the difference for the Minnesota Lynx. If she is on, it's hard beating that damn team. She was on game 1, along with Courtney Williams, the team up with LaFisha Carr. We got beat in a historic fashion. We lost an 18-point lead, and they beat us in overtime. Game 2, she didn't have 22. She had 8. A 14-point difference. We won by 14. So, I'm not happy with a split because we shouldn't even have been in a split. We should be up 2-0. So, no, I'm not happy. I'm happy when it says New York wins series 3-1 or 3-2. I don't care. I want a WNBA championship. In order for us to do that, we have to defend like we're supposed to defend. Put Stewie on LaFisha Carr and let them go at it. Make it like another Stewie versus AJ Wilson rivalry, okay? Do that. Put the Benaja Naney Hamilton on Kayla McBride. She's our best defender. And if she needs to sub out, you put Kayla Thornton on Kayla McBride. Do not let Kayla McBride be the one that goes off, because if she goes off, Minnesota's going to win. And any Minnesota Lynx fans that have been watching this team will tell you the same thing. They know what the Phoenix Card is going to bring you. If Kayla McBride is on, good luck. Courtney Williams, she can do her thing. I'm not too worried about Courtney Williams. Bridget Carlton, I'm worried about her. She's been quiet. She only has 13 points in 2 games. Well, she has 13 points within the first 2 games, along with 7 boards, 4 assists. That might change because they're going home to Minnesota. Okay. Speaking of which, game 3 will be Wednesday, 8 p.m. on ESPN. This is the most important game in Liberty history to date. This is the most important game. Liberty has to win game 3. If they lose game 3, it's going to be sayonara, in my opinion. Liberty has to win game 3. Because if you win game 3, you put the Minnesota Lynx backs against the wall with one more game in their place. And if they force a game 5, it's back at the Barclays Center. I'm just telling you, the Liberty have to win Wednesday. They cannot lose Wednesday. Hear me clearly. New York, you cannot lose Wednesday. You have to win, or else it is doomed for another finals loss in franchise. We already lost 5 of these. We cannot lose this one. We can't lose this one. Okay? So, bring what you did in game 2 with you. And the feature card, she's going to do her. She is going to do her. I am not worried about what the feature card is going to do because you can't stop it. It's just that plain. She's number 2 in the MVP voting for the reason, okay? But you make sure that damn Kayla McBride don't go off. If Courtney Williams do some things, okay, fine, we'll live with it. Don't let Kayla McBride or Bridget Carlton get off. Them the 2 I'm worried about. Out of anybody on the list outside of Fisher Carter that I'm worried about, Bridget Carlton and Kayla McBride. Them the only 2 I'm worried about. If them 2 get off, we're done. We're done, plain and simple. Now, Stewie, you made for the mistakes at the end of game 1 with your performance in game 2. You're an MVP. You're a multiple-time MVP. I need you to play like it. JJ, you almost gave me back-to-back games with double-doubles. Continue to work the boards. Continue to find your shot. Continue to punish them in the paint. Because I'll tell you right now, Smith and Carlton cannot defend you. Minnesota has nobody on that team that can defend John Coyle Jones. So you dominate inside. Now, Sabrina, you haven't had that monster game yet. You gave me 19 in game 2, which I'm good with. No, you gave me 19 in game 1, and you gave me 15 in game 2. I'm going to need you to turn into that Steph Curry that you can be. I'm going to need you to sit here and say, you know what? What would Steph do in this situation? Steph will come out and Steph will make it be known that, no, I would not be the reason why that we lose this finals again. Okay? We are going to do something that has not been done. We have lost game 1, and every single time we made it to the finals, and we end up losing the final. We're going to flip the script. Matter of fact, I don't even think New York ever had a finals lead, because they always lost game 1. So New York has never had a finals lead. If you win game 3 on Wednesday, it'll be the first time in franchise series that the New York Liberty had a lead in the WNBA Finals. And that'll put you 1 game away with 2 games to go from catching the first ever WNBA championship. You have to do something that has never been done. As Farrell asks. Thank you, sir, for hopping back in. Yes, that. And knowing Minnesota, they probably will, is at home. But if New York if New York can do what they did in game 2 and mostly of game 1, they should be up 2-1. All right. He also said, team who wins game 1 wins the title. Yeah, I know. That's why you think I'm not happy right now. because we have been notoriously losing game one in the WNBA Finals. It's like the 6th time we lost game one in the WNBA Finals, and we have not won the WNBA Finals. So that tells you what happened the previous 5 times we lost game one in the WNBA Finals. So we have to do something that has never been done in New York Liberty's history. We have to get a series lead for once, and we have to bring home the first ever championship. The only team in the WNBA who's been kicking our ass is the Minnesota Lynx. And Stewie, you said they haven't seen the best of New York yet. Well, the best of New York needs to show up in game 3 on Wednesday. Because if you do the things that I'm telling you to do, don't let Bridget Carlton and Kelly McBride get that home cooking. If they get that home cooking, you can say sayonara. But if you don't let them two, if you don't let Bridget Carlton and Kelly McBride get that home cooking, we're going to go up 2-1 with game 4 being Friday with a chance to clinch. And if it's a game, and if there's a game 5, it'll be Sunday back at the broadcast center. Get the series lead. Give yourself 2 opportunities to clinch the title. Don't give Minnesota 2 opportunities to clinch the title, because they'll be smelling blood in the Sharks, and then they have another game at the Target Center. We do not want that. Make sure at the very latest that series will be decided back at Barclays Center if need be. If not, we can decide at Target Center. But do not put it in Minnesota's hands, because if you put it in Minnesota's hands, we're not going to do it. We're not. We're just not going to do it. And that's how I cold-heartedly feel about this series. Whoever wins game 3 on Wednesday, this is my honest belief. Whoever wins game 3 Wednesday is going to win the WNBA Finals. And I need it to be New York, because I'm tired of losing in the WNBA Finals. I'm sick of it. We got to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, with that being said, if everything goes according to plan, and if we do get a game 5, I might do a quick live to preview game 5. If not, I might do an article of some sort on the Playmakers blog website, since I haven't done one in a while. I probably need to get back into doing articles again. I might do an article on the website, and I'll be posting all over social media and whatnot if I need to preview game 4. But if there's a game 5 on Sunday, I might hop on and do a quick live, because that is the last game of the WNBA season. Sunday, October 20th. That will be the last game of the WNBA season, and there's no more to it. And then I'll see when I come back and do the NBA season, because that'll be the beginning of season 3 of shooting lights out. Season 2 will end when the WNBA season ends. But outside of that, that's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning in on today's episode. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on the Facebook page, go ahead, hit the follow and like button on that page to follow everything that we post on the Playmakers Bar page. As coincidentally, we have a poll. So for every college football season, we do a poll. And the latest poll on the Playmakers Bar page is who's going to win between Georgia and Texas in this big, massive top 5 showdown down in Texas for college football season. So get on there, vote, put your vote in there, and I'll tie everything up and I'll get the results to you on Wednesday, because I will be here Wednesday to talk college football. But outside of that, I'm going to get up out of here, get ready for Monster Wrestling with Cool McCain to talk some wrestling. But like I said, New York, we need a win on Wednesday. We need to take control of this series. I know y'all can do it. Y'all have the talent, and y'all have the team that can do it. Make it happen. Until then, y'all have a good day. Deuces.
You've done great, but you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick that again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the floor. Cause that's the only way to go. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to follow the podcast, you can follow it on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and a whole lot more. This has been Shooting Lights Out.